Hey, come on now. Come on now. Y'all only stood up because he did. Y'all only stood up because he did. And the people in the back, is there a guy in the back named Bob? I got in here late last night about 11 o'clock, and I got into the elevator with some of your colleagues. I'm looking for some of the faces now. And they were all saying, well, I'm glad I left early so I can get up in the morning and go to the sessions. They didn't want to stay at this party with this guy named Bob. And I'm sure Bob is probably in the back where it's real dark, so you can take a nap. Is that wild? Huh? I mean, the biggest movie star in the world calls you up on the phone and says, hey, I want to play you in a movie. I got to tell you, that blew me away, man. These people spent $70 million to recreate what I did with nothing. I can't figure that out. I cannot figure that out, man. $70 million. All this started because I did an interview with Barbara Walters on 2020 that ran in 2003, January 17th. These folks called me up. They want to do this story. And my first question is, why me? I was just like everybody in this room, just living my life, doing the best that I could, raising my family. Why me? And my position really was kind of firm. If you want to do a story about somebody with some money, some toys, and some stuff, I'm not interested, no. But if you want to do a piece about someone who tried to do something with their life, with their family, in their community, I'm all for that. These guys followed me for 3 days, from New York to Chicago to San Francisco, and then they chopped that 3 days of film down to 17 minutes. And I, of course, had no editorial input. Let me tell you, one of the scariest things in the world is you're sitting at home and there's Barbara Walters on national television saying your first and last name and you don't know what she's going to say next. You do sit on the edge of your seat. You're going to see, if you like Will, you're going to see him like you've never seen him before. No aliens, no car crashes, no guns, not one word of profanity. Not one single word, okay? And that little boy, by the way, that little boy, that's Jaden Smith, that's Will Smith's son. And that little boy kicked Will's butt every day, man. I'm telling you, I told Will, I said, you know what? You are about to become the second biggest movie star in your own house. But back to the 2020 thing. That thing ran on the 17th of January, okay, 2003. On the 20th, that Monday, phone jumps off the hook. First phone call, Oprah, want you to be on the show. My answer was no. Didn't even have to think about it. Sometimes, I'm sure somebody in here will agree with me, you can do something that goes so well, leave it alone. You try to top it, you blow it. Leave it alone. I got a message back, though, that it's not nice to say no to Oprah. And we're going to find out. We just agreed we're going to tape Oprah on the 26th of October, so we'll find out how that goes. Next phone call I get is from a guy in a place called Hollyweird. Guy calls me up. He's got this great idea. He wants to do a reality TV show on homeless people, and he wants to take some homeless people off the street, clean them up, give them a job, and the one that goes on to do the most with their life is going to be the winner. And I get to pick them. And the winner's going to get a $300,000 house, $100,000 in cash, and all this good stuff. I cannot say exactly what I said to that man on the phone. The gist of it was, homelessness is not a game, and if you think it is, I already won, so send me the money. Still waiting to hear from him. I decided I'll take one more of these calls. I'm glad I did. Young guy gets me on the phone. He's clear, concise, compelling. He pretty much says the following: I'm in the movie business. I'm a producer. I'm not the biggest name in the business. However, I saw the 2020 piece. And if you would come out to Los Angeles and take a meeting, there could be some interest. No offense to anybody in here from Los Angeles. I do not like LA. I don't get it. I've always felt like if you're not in the movie business, you should not be in LA. You're just taking up space. And this guy wants me to come out to LA and take a meeting. Well, what does that mean? Yeah, I'm from Chicago. I mean, we might take a train, right? Take a nap. What is take a meeting? So we go out here and we meet some guys and we have these meetings and these guys want to tell you all this great stuff and these boys are good. If you ever just want to have yourself full with a whole bunch of stuff, Hollywood, good place to go. We had one last meeting. The second I sat down with these guys, I knew if anything happens here, these are the guys. Steve Tisch, Todd Black, Jason Blumenthal from a production company called Escape Artists. We were comfortable, we have a good meeting, and it came up in the meeting, it was Steve Tisch who asked me, well, why would you say no to being on Oprah? Why would you say no to that? So I leaned into the guy and I asked him, did you ever see that movie Forrest Gump? He says, yeah, I saw that. Well, I go on to explain, but there was a scene in the film where Forrest inadvertently stumbled into an anti-war rally and they pulled the plug on him, and you could not hear what he said. But when they jacked it back up, what Forrest said was, that's all I've got to say about that. Okay, so that's how I felt. And he said, yeah, that makes sense. We wrap it up, we leave the meeting. My guy who had set the meeting up, Mark Clayman, gets me in the elevator and he says to me, Chris, by the way, Steve Tisch produced Forrest Gump. I didn't know, man. I mean, 6 Oscars, 3rd highest grossing film in history, and I'm asking this man, did he see his own movie, right?